I find in my reporting, people back home, they get a bit confused. They think the Council of Europe is the same as the European Council. The media reports about what happens here, but I don't think they really understand or know that much about it. Why is there this confusion? How can we improve this?
The Council of Europe is an European organization having a larger number of members from the European states than the European Union. Indeed, the European Union is the organization of a fewer number of states that are all European, and the other European states, and including here the Balkan states, are willing to be part of the European Union. In terms of scope, the Council of Europe is the organization created for the promotion of democracy, human rights, and rule of law. And these are the pillars in which the Council of Europe was created. Indeed, the European Union do have these principles as well, but it's more like a political organization of 28 states together to have the same rules in terms of legal framework, in terms of traditions, in terms of having the same policies in all sectors of life. But of course, the European Union do uphold the principle of the Council of Europe. However, when we talk for the Council of Europe, we can say that it is the organization in which parliamentarians of all the countries take part in a mechanism that is called the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. And this is the legislative body of the Council of Europe. Meanwhile, there is an executive branch, if we can put it like that, of the Council of Europe, that is the Committee of Ministers. The Committee of Ministers is composed of all the ministers that are competent for the foreign affairs of each of the member states, and they do have all the decision-making powers in the organization of the Council of Europe. These are the two main bodies in the Council of Europe. Meanwhile, there are a lot of other mechanisms that help the implementation of the decisions from the Parliamentary Assembly, so the legislative branch, and the executive branch, the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe. And these mechanisms do help the state members to achieve the best standards for democracy, human rights, and rule of law. The importance of the Council of Europe, it's its court. There is an European Court, the European Court of Human Rights. It is a binding instrument which, for all the member states, it constitutes a kind of watchdog, if I can say it like this for the people to understand. So each of the citizens in all 46 member states, if they claim a violation of their human rights, they have the right to request remedy in their national courts. And if they are not satisfied with their remedies, upon the completion of all the process in the national courts, they have the right to refer to the European Court of Human Rights. The European Court of Human Rights normally adjudicates based on the complaints of the citizens against member states referring to the violation of human rights. If the European Court of Human Rights here in Strasbourg decides that there is a violation and it rules even on how to resolve it, the member states, the mechanism at the local level, so meaning at the state level, do have an obligation to implement such decisions. So giving such a powerful tool to all the citizens in the member states to get protected from the violation of human rights.
How is it to implement? You get this judgment from the European Court of Rights, and I know I've seen the figures, like member states have different implementation rates, and some of them were like 30%, some were 60%. And the expert explained to me, it's not a simple process to implement judgments. You can't just take the judgment from the court and then just make it happen. You have to, what is the process for doing that?
It's a challenging process. Each country has its own methodology, which is, of course, provided by rules, so by laws in each of the countries. There are specific mechanism, institution in each of the countries that are obliged to take the decision-making of the Strasbourg Court and to transform it into a binding action in their country. And it doesn't end here, because the Council of Europe has a mechanism to monitor the member states. How do they implement the decision of the Strasbourg Court? And if these decisions are not implemented as requested, of course there are even penalties for the member states. No states would like to have backslidings.
And also these things get picked up by the media as well. It becomes an issue.
It's a very strong actor in order to make the decision of the Strasbourg Court be implemented efficiently in the member states. And media is one of the main partners of the Council of Europe as well, not only for the Strasbourg Court decision implementation, but even for all the other issues that covers the Council of Europe. I could say that in Balkan, compared to other European countries that are even members in the European Union, there are sometimes better figures of implementation than in those other countries. However, the Council of Europe, I believe, should be more active in promoting its mechanisms, in promoting its decision-making, and should narrow the gap between its decision-making and the citizens, because this is an organization to serve to the people, those that are citizens of the member states. Sometimes I doubt that the citizens are very much aware of what the Council of Europe is offering to them. And indeed, it's offering a lot. So people can benefit from a mere group of mechanisms to protect human rights, to protect the democracy, to guarantee the rule of law. So I think now with this last years, this trend has been positively improved.
Yesterday, was the Kosovo vote, which was a resounding success. Do you have a comment on that? How did it make you feel personally as someone involved with the Council of Europe to see this happen?
Well, the Kosovo vote yesterday was a fair decision, and I do strongly believe that Kosovo deserves the place as an equal member, together with the other 46 members in the Council of Europe, because Kosovo has made progress in all of the fields related to democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. And so the citizens of Kosovo should be given the opportunity to benefit from all this mechanism of the protection from the European Court of Human Rights. Having said that, this is just the beginning of a trip. Now there is another process that has to be done very soon, I hope in May, by the Committee of Ministers, who should definitely decide the membership of Kosovo in the Council of Europe. And this is a decision to be taken. So I'm looking forward for a positive decision. And in terms of Albanians, I'm very proud because we'll have more Albanians in the Council of Europe. And this is a merit-based process, and this is an historical, just decision. So I cannot deny that I'm so happy. I'm very enthusiastic for that, and I just hope that the Committee of Ministers will take the same decision and will take into consideration the recommendation from the Parliamentary Assembly that the Kosovo should be the 47th member of the Council of Europe.